Well, good morning, everybody. I'm over at my house on the terrace, and I just was arriving as the contractor or builder was leaving. He was talking to a foundation guy. So I just want to show you this because they spray painted kind of a basic layout of where the extension is going to go to. And then this is what I was trying to explain in my last video is if you follow along here, there's going to be a sidewalk that runs along this side of the house. So it's gonna go quite close to my little hydrangea garden that's along this way. I was already planning to move those anyway because that's something that the deer eat. But what I want the end effect to be is that, so I mentioned there's gonna be a hallway that walks out of the house. So you're gonna walk out of the hallway. Let me turn around here, hang on. So if we pretend that we're walking out of the hallway, you're going to come to the sidewalk here. And then this area should be pretty shaded because of the trees, my neighbor's house, etc. So this side of the yard stays pretty shaded. And what I wanted was to have the sidewalk running here. And then I will have this little shade bed that's right below this wall. And the roof is going to overhang a little bit over the sidewalk. And so I think it's going to feel almost like a little sunken shade garden, a little hidden shade garden right here. And then on this next level back here is going to be all like meadow type flowers. So that's the most recent vision that I've come up with since we decided we had to move everything. But let me show you this stuff that's happening. So they've gotten some stuff dug out. This is looking down into the crawl space that was underneath this side of the house. This is where the kitchen used to be, and there was a crawl space under it. And then going over this way went into the true basement. So it does go deeper down in that area into the remaining part of the basement. But again, a reminder, our new back of the house is going to be like even with this wall. So everything from here back is going to become backyard that we're going to have fenced in. So those are the changes that have happened since the last video. And the builder said that starting next week, the changes should be happening, pretty rapidly to get this process really going. So I'll finally have updates to show you when it comes to that stuff. Here's some debris. I did notice over in the front, I'll show you in a second, they finally removed all of that fence, the torn down fence that was over by my rose garden. Just showing you things while we're over this way. So these are the iris over here that were from my coworker, Rachel. And it's funny because they look exactly like called iris already had, which were really beautiful. The purple with the yellow, I guess they call that the beard. But they're very pretty. But it's like exactly the same as the ones I already have. So that's fine. Let's go check out. Here's the other patch that she gave me. So she had given me, multiple plants, and I made them into 2 patches. Oh, look, my smoke bushes bushing out. So let's see, at the start of the season, the tallest point is up to about my hip, lower hip. I carried jugs of water over here. That's why I'm kind of out of breath, because I had transplanted some ferns from my other house. If you'll remember in the previous video, I had planted 3 Annabelle hydrangeas right here. And that's just a temporary spot for them until we have the fenced-in backyard. Here's some more iris. This is from the other lady that she gave me some from Facebook. So those aren't open yet. I'm expecting them to be purple as well, but we'll go see if any of the other ones that were from the same group, see if those are open yet. And then another thing that I had planted was something called twin leaf, I believe. Jeffersonia, something like that. It's a native plant. They're basically just bare roots. So I planted them here and some over there by those ferns. They're not sticking up yet, but hopefully they come up. And then there's another clump of the ferns that my neighbor from the other house had given me. Oh yeah, these ones over here are quite open. So these are the same as those that aren't open yet. This is the one that came from the Facebook person off of my Facebook group. And again, they appear to be the same. Oh no, maybe not. These don't have yellow. Well, they do, a very tiny bit. So these are a little bit different looking. This almost looks a little bit more bluish. That could just be the lighting too, though, but definitely a slight variation, because on my other ones, they've got a lot more yellow at the throat. So, same color-ish going on. That's okay. They're beautiful. I love irises. Love them, love them, love them. Okay, and here's where that fence pile was. So that's nice that that's out of the way. I can get that cleaned up and get this area looking better, my rose garden looking better. I did, remember I told you guys I was gonna limb up basically this elderberry shrub. So last year I just had it growing on one stem, and then it had, I guess, 2 branches from last season, here and here, and then it sent out some more from the ground. And I am letting these stay. I just don't want a lot of like lower branches coming off of those. So what I wanted was a multi-stem trunk, but as it grows, I'm going to probably bring all the branches up to about here-ish, so that the bottom stays nice and clean and open looking, and then it just kind of comes out like a vase or a tree shape. And elderberries, I don't see any buds yet, but they do get these really cool umbrella-like flowers. My lace cap over here, or not lace cap, black lace. This one did give me blooms last year, so I'm expecting an even better show this year, but I'm not seeing any blooms yet. So anyway, that one's really pretty, and they grow very fast. Okay. I really only came over here to water my plants, and then I have to go to my other house. I'll probably do a video over there actually, because I need to mow the lawn and do quite a bit of work on that yard. But this is how things are looking over here. You can see all my hydrangea shrubs are very leafed out. I asked the builder about these too, because I need to get these moved before they start this construction. And he said we should be able to figure it out, because they're working on that area back there first. So, but yeah, in the next week probably I'm going to be getting these moved. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm moving them to my work, and my work is not ready for me to move them there yet, because our grand opening is on Monday. Today is Friday. And we have a bunch of VIPs coming from all over the country, and they don't want us basically like tearing up the area and getting it all muddy and stuff until after the grand opening, and then we can break ground on the garden. So here's the shade garden looking pretty. This, I guess I'm probably not going to divide this and move this year. I was planning to, but with me not having water over here, and with my work not being ready to like receive plants yet, it's just getting to the point where now it's all big and leafed out, and I'm probably just going to end up leaving it until next year. So we'll see. Or maybe in the fall, maybe I'll break that up and move some at that point. Okay, let's take a quick look at the terrace, and then I'm going to go back to my other house to get some work done over there. I know I said I was going to remove this hollyhock. I forgot my shovel. Oh, and it's already starting to get flowers. Maybe I'll just leave it. I think I'll just leave it for now. We have a lot of 4 o'clock coming up now. It looks like something keeps digging in here. Every time I come over here, it looks like some animal has been digging in this area. And I don't see any nasturtiums. And I know I planted just as many nasturtiums on this side as I did on the other side. So that's kind of frustrating. Because to balance it out, if none come up, like if a squirrel or something decided to eat them, I'm going to have to order more seeds of the same kind that I planted over here. Because look over here, I've got tons of nasturtiums. There's a ton down there. Let's walk over this way. And there's a nasturtium. And a nice big one. Another one. Another one. And there. And there. So, you can see my concern is that I have all kinds of nasturtiums on this side, and I didn't see any on that side. I guess I could do what I just did, which was bring over jugs of water, and then I could transplant some nasturtiums from that side to the other side. Because each plant will get pretty big and bushy. I don't really need that many in here. Down here, I haven't bought the lavenders yet, mostly because we have no rain in the 10-day forecast, and I have to water anything that I plant. So I'm just kind of holding off on that. My Walker Slow catmint is starting to bloom. That's the first time this season. I bought that on clearance last fall. So it didn't really look good last fall. It was just kind of this scraggly, sad looking thing. And then it went to sleep for winter. But that's going to be really pretty. And it's only, its first season in the ground. And I expect that to take up probably a good 2 or 3 feet. Plus have all of the lamb's ear on either side of it. It's going to be pretty. Oh, our purple salvias are starting to come up in this clump. But again, not these little ones that I transplanted. I think I'm going to have to maybe move these because they're just too different from these. I was hoping that they would start blooming and growing taller, and then I could see, like, okay, what's the difference? How are they going to look and stuff like that, but still kind of hard to say. My pink salvia is really in bloom. So these colors are not bothering me. This is 2 different kinds, and I didn't intend for it to be that way. Remember, I moved some of these down here, like 1, 2, 3, 4. These were all moved down from that group over there so that I could make this group bigger, because this one had lost a few plants last year. And it looks really stunning next to this clump of pink yarrow. So as soon as this starts blooming and it's next to this, the 2 of them side by side are just gorgeous. Scabiosas are looking good. Looks like it need to do a little deadheading. I'll have to grab my clippers out of the car. I have one tiny little columbine that was there last year. Hasn't really gotten much bigger, but then again, it hasn't gotten much water, so at least it's hanging on there. And then right here, these are all the Veronicas. They're not sending up their bloom stalks yet. My giant, what is it called? Artemisia wormwood. I think next time I come over, I'll bring jugs of water again like I did this time. And I'm planning to dig this up and move it into this circular ball thing. And then I'll just water it heavily right after I move it. And I'll probably have to bring over water again after that. But I think it's going to look really cool inside of that. And I don't like it there. So that's what's going to happen. Okay, I guess that's about it, you guys. No peonies yet, but they are getting to that marshmallow size where they're getting close. So probably next time we come over, we're probably going to get to see some really pretty peonies, I hope. I'm supposed to be off this weekend. I am off today, but I picked up tomorrow and Sunday. I'm trying to work a lot of extra hours just to make the extra money, and because I always spend a lot more during gardening season. And then also we have Chase's sister's wedding next month, third week of June. So I gotta save up money for that. And yeah, so anyway, I don't think I'll be back again until like next Wednesday, because I already worked Monday and Tuesday. And like I said, I picked up Saturday and Sunday, so I'll be at work. This is my neighbor's iris here. I'm surprised to see a yellow one because I've never seen a different colored one here before. But many of my purple iris, like all those down there, actually came from this stock. So they had started growing down this little hill into here. And so I was like, well, they're on my property. So I took them and I moved them over there. And believe it or not, all of those iris, I've split them over the past like 4 or 5 years. And all of the iris in this terrace all started from that tiny little group that was just starting to kind of like climb down this little slope, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Because this patch doesn't really grow much. I mean, I've been here for 5 years now, and this has always been the same basically, but they don't divide them or like really weed them or anything. And so I just think that they're probably overcrowded, and you know, aside from slowly creeping, like they were creeping downhill over here, aside from doing that, they don't really get to reproduce, I guess. So anyway, just thought I would mention that. It's kind of interesting that you can get so many iris if you continually split them and everything. All right, I'm gonna stop this video now. Like I said, I might do one at my other house. Talk to you guys later.